Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, join alongside me, Mackie, our Alex, Justin, and together we make the No Respek Podcast, here to talk about Game 1, Round 3, Habs versus the Vegas Golden Knights. That's right, the Montreal Canadiens, for the first time, go to some bright lights like this one right here. You like that effect? That's some real-time effect right there. Playing against a heavy, a fast, a deep, a strong Vegas Golden Knights team that has been in the NHL for 4 years now and has seemingly made it to the Stanley Cup Finals almost every year. I know I'm exaggerating here, but the Montreal Canadiens have themselves a challenge. And Game 1, here we are to talk about it. We know that we lost. We're going to get into all those good details. Cole Caulfield scored. Well, that's one positive. But we got to talk about both of these teams, both of these matchups. What does it mean heading into the rest of this series? So let's get right into it, guys. Alex, let's start with you. What were your thoughts about Game 1, the feeling out process for both of these teams? How did you think the Habs did? How did you think that the Vegas Golden Knights did in this one?
Yeah, like you said in your intro, obviously Vegas is a team like we haven't faced before. Toronto, we faced a good team there, but Vegas definitely a deeper team. Have some really good pieces in all positions. Their defense, I didn't really pay attention to them much this year, but Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, and Martinez, that's a hell of a top three on defense. And Fleury and nets, as always. I think there was a stat that came up. It's his 15th straight playoff run. I know he was back up for a bit in in Pittsburgh, but still, he's still going strong, and he had a hell of a Game 1. It's a tough matchup. Overall, obviously disappointing not to get a win. And the last maybe 15 minutes, the whole third period itself was probably not the greatest watch as a Habs fan. But there were positives to take from the game. We started out hot. Fleury had to make some big saves. We probably could have scored a couple to start the game, and it might have been a different story if we had scored early. They got, I'd say, a pretty fortunate goal for their first, and then they seemed to run with it after that, take advantage of our defense a bit. But it wasn't the worst game. Like you said, feeling out process. Obviously, we're the away team, so you expect the home team to have the advantage. And they had that full crowd bumping there. Pretty cool scenes. So, disappointing not to get a win, but not the worst game, and I'm sure we can bounce back next game.
Yeah, I think it was just about the fans. It was just great to see an actual full building with the Habs. I wish it was actual Habs fans at the Bell Center, but it was still good to see. It's like better times are ahead, and it's just obviously cool to see the Vegas ambiance there with they have the glow sticks, they have the big helmet all the players come out of. So good atmosphere there. As for the game, Alex said a lot of it. We had a good start. I thought we kind of got into a lot of penalty trouble, I think, in the end of the second period, which really kind of set us back. And Vegas just had a lot of momentum after their first goal and kept riding it. But there were some positives. Carey Price played very well. I don't think any of the goals were really... Actually, maybe one of them you can blame on him, but I think most of the goals were not his fault, and he made some amazing saves, like a glove save on Mark Stone, and he also stoned Jonathan Marchessault with the pad on a cross crease shot. Also our PK was 100% tonight. It's been 100% for the last 8 games, I believe. Our best penalty kill in the playoffs, so that's another positive. Other than that, I think Vegas seemed scary before we faced them, and they showed why they are scary. They can score seemingly with any of their players. I think they got 3 goals from their defense that game, and their top line wasn't even on the score sheet, so that's kind of, I guess, concerning a little bit that they can score 4 goals without their top line. But we were kind of expecting this, so we just need to come back strong and keep to our game.
Quote from Joel Edmondson: I thought we came out firing in the first period, and then we kind of sat back and let it come at us. But we were excited to play in front of a sold-out barn again. It was fun. I do think that there is something to be said here with regards to the Montreal Canadiens responding quite well to the intimidating barn and the little bit of a jolt here of what they've been used to with regards to the fan situation here in Canada, and what that's meant for their energy and all of those things, and going into a little bit more of a hostile crowd to start off the game the way that they did. Was quite shocking, I think, for me, because I was expecting game one to be a real challenge. You got young kids in the lineup. You got a Jesperi Kotkaniemi who his first experience, let's be real here, was the bubble last year, and now the bubble this year, right? I'm not making this up, right? The first year that he came into the league, we didn't make the playoffs. It was with Max Domi, if I'm not mistaken, all of these things. So, but you got Cole Caulfield, you got Alexander Romanov, of course, that's in the lineup. Jeff Petrie out of this one. So there's a lot of factors here that I assume that this was going to be a challenge, especially early on. So I'm kind of happy that was the way that they responded to that. But obviously some penalty troubles, and Vegas being the team that they are. They're a great team. I'm not going to hide it. The Montreal Canadiens, again, are in the underdog position that they have thrived in. But this is the situation that they were facing. Vegas is coming off an emotional win against Colorado, obviously another top team that they just won 4 straight. They're feeling it. The Montreal Canadiens were feeling it. And obviously in this game with Shea Theodore's goal, obviously the streak ends for us, the amount of games that we were leading without trailing for like 7 consecutive games since we beat the Leafs. So that was the positive. What I didn't like out of the game was a little bit of the penalty situation and not being able to kind of get back to where we were. But that might just be a reflection of what Vegas is able to do as a team, and something that we'll have to be prepared for. Justin.
Yeah, I think another thing we had trouble with maybe that game was just our defense seemed to not be able to respond to their aggressive forecheck. And I think that's a big part of, our defense is obviously missing Jeff Petrie. He's a huge part of just like puck moving in the back end and being there and being a presence. I thought Brett Kulak didn't have a great game. So I'm not sure what happens next game. It's gonna be tough to. Well, it's up in the air, I guess, because we have John Merrill there potentially skating. He's skating now, so he's a potential guy. Jeff Petrie is always a question mark now with his hand situation. So we'll see what happens. I thought Romanov wasn't amazing, but he wasn't bad. Well, I thought he was okay, and he had an incredible hit on Alex Pietrangelo. Yeah, just tossed him like a salad. So that was great to see, obviously.
Yeah, even like Weber came up to him, and I don't know what he said, but they were both very excited, smiles all around, like everybody was just fucking pumped after that big, massive hit. And then Alex Pietrangelo got mad at Brett Kulak for once again being hit by like a 21-year-old. Alex,
Pietrangelo.
Peter, yeah. First of all, Alex Pietrangelo. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. And the fact that he wants it to be Peter Angelo is a disgrace. Don't Olive Garden your Italian name, okay? All right, Alex, what do you see being the key here for a response from Montreal in Game 2? Obviously, a lot of these, the quotes that I'm looking at are a fact that, we weren't consistent in the game. That's something that Dominique Ducharme said. And everybody is obviously confident that they can bounce back and be better. But what do you think the Habs absolutely need to do to bounce back here in Game 2?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing is I think Jeff Petrie needs to play. I understand he's injured, but I think you have to play a Jeff Petrie who's even at 75% over what happened in Game 1. I mean, it's our sheltered defenseman who let us down, basically. And with Sherratt, Weber having to play huge minutes, they're going to slow down too. And unfortunately, we need Jeff Petrie playing. I'm not saying like if his hand's falling off, play him, but I think you play not as good Jeff Petrie over a guy like Kulak or someone. We need someone who can eat big minutes. And yeah, for the bounce back, Honestly, offensively, I don't think we played that badly. Obviously, in the third period, Vegas went very defensive and we couldn't create much. That's going to happen against whichever team takes a lead. That's the game style in the playoffs. So I think we just have to bury a few of those chances we had in the first period, hopefully get a lead and let us play that defensive style, and then just play better defensively as a whole. I don't know if there's any real thing anyone did wrong. Just some individual mistakes cost us. And Vegas are realistically the better team. They're probably going to outchance us. But we have Carey Price there to make some huge saves like he did in game one. And just hope we can win some close games. I don't think there's too much to change with the game plan. Just get back up to speed, take our chances, and hope for the best. Realistically, you're not outgunning a team like Vegas. So, yeah, I didn't really see any drastic errors in the game plan or anything. Just a few mistakes cost us, and that was that.
Yeah, the one thing that you mentioned, and I think this is very simple. For me, the key is going to be getting the first goal in game two. I know it's as simple as that. But the Montreal Canadiens, once they get that first goal, the way that they're playing team defense and the way that they've won their games, obviously it's simplifying it, and it would be great for them to kind of be able to chase a game and win it regardless. I just think that with a team like Vegas, they will not allow you to do it, especially if they get a 2-goal lead. Forget it. Like last game, as soon as they got that second goal there for the 3-1, for me, it was like, again, you got the first one. I was surprised that we got back into it with a great power play goal, which was scored by Cole fucking Caulfield. We didn't mention that, or maybe we did, but not as intendedly as we should have. And for me, that's going to be the key. Just get that first goal, play with the same confidence that you have, and don't let it deflate you. Because on paper, they're not supposed to necessarily win in Vegas, right? When you're going back home, you're stealing one if you're winning one in Vegas. That's what everybody's going to say. So hopefully they can do that in game two. It's going to be a challenge. But Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you said. I think sticking to our game plan is a lot tougher when we're trailing. Obviously, like when we're up, it's easier to really go hard on the forecheck, take chances, and be aggressive. But yeah, so getting a first goal is very important. I was just going to say capitalizing on our chances. Like there were a few chances in the first, I think, minute. Like Josh Anderson had a great chance on Fleury there that he had a pad save. If he puts that away, it's a different game. It's a different kind of atmosphere there. So just capitalizing on our chances and keeping to our game plan.
Yeah, I may be oversimplifying it. I think there was a good mix between the Vegas Golden Knights winning this game and also the Montreal Canadiens losing this game. And by that, I mean that, yes, Vegas made their luck, but I also feel like the Canadiens didn't make their life easier to get that job done, especially with the penalties, some individual mistakes. Brett Kulak did not have a good game. I love you, Cooley, but c'était pas beau là. Yeah, hopefully we can get back into it for game two. And we're really hoping that we can steal one, come back to the Bell Center with not 2,500, but 3,500 fans now with the new Santé Québec, whatever the hell they said. All of the Montreal Canadiens, they're saying that they're going to be better. And we're hoping for it because the Habs are in the fucking semifinals / conference finals in a regular year. We're fucking pumped. If you guys missed it, we also did a little bit of fun, probably the stupidest content that we'll make. No, that's a lie. That's probably the first of many stupid contents that we'll make. And it's a song that we made for the conference finals. It's called Go Habs Go. It takes Red Hot Chili Peppers and makes it the, what is it? The Red Hot Petrie Webbers?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. That's correct. So you guys can check that out. That was a lot of fun to do this weekend on my Saturday with Justin and Alex. Alex, you have something to tell the folks back at home?
Yeah, just one takeaway for Habs fans from this game who are coming into it. Vegas are obviously the favorites here, but I think game one has shown that we absolutely have a chance and we can play with them. And there's no reason not to believe that this team can do it. Look, I'd agree with someone betting on Vegas all day, but we had our chances. Price made some huge saves. He's going to keep making them, and we have a chance to steal some games, and they can win this series. It's absolutely doable.
And
yes, Justin.
let's also not forget that Vegas in the last 2 rounds has lost the first game. Now they're winning the first game. So what does that tell you?
What does that mean? Huh?
What does that
tell you, Vegas fans? Huh? You guys should probably be worried that you took game 1. That's what it means.
You should be shaking in your boots.
Shaking in your boots. That's correct.
We got you right where we want you.
Yeah, we're just giving you hope. No, jokes aside, this is going to be a tough matchup for the Montreal Canadiens. Game 2, tomorrow, 9 p.m. start Eastern. You got to get ready. You got to fucking drink your coffee. It's going to be a bright light citied fucking show in Vegas. Las Vegas, baby. Is that probably a song from Elvis Presley? Yeah? Correct.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex, Justin, Mackie, No Respect. You've been joined. One last shout out to our friend DK that we're going to send off the episode to, who sent us some dope tracks so you guys could vibe to it for the outro. Ladies and gentlemen, go Habs, go, baby. All right?